Hi guys, it's Rebecca here. I hope your week has been brilliant and I hope your weekend is going to be great. Happy Friday, and I hope you're all having a brilliant Friday. Anyway, today's video is going to be me getting in touch with my writer side and not my reader side, which is really difficult. I don't feel like I'm accomplished enough to give you this information, but I'm going to try. And one of the main topics that I always need help with is how to get rid of writer's block. Writer's block is the demon and horrible, and it's the worst thing when it comes to writing, and I find it horrendous. I hit that wall quite often. I have to admit, I'm putting it out there, I am not a planner. I am a full-on pantser. I am not proud, but I am. I don't enjoy planning. I can't. I have tried. I've done so many different ways. The only thing I have plans for is my characters. I have a sheet that I use that has different headings that I fill in for all of my characters, even the ones who literally are walking past in the scene, and that's helped me a lot, because even for the characters, like I said, that just walk past or say a couple of words in a scene, I know their favourite foods. I know how they would react if somebody threw a water balloon at them. I know all of that, and that is, for me, I hope that my book is character driven, and that's what I love. I love character driven stories, so that's what I wanted to write. Anyway, here's my 5 tips on how to get rid of writer's block. Number 1, there's a website called writerdi.com, and I am not a huge fan of this website, but it has helped me occasionally. Basically, it's a rapid drafting website that you type in word count or time limit or something like this, and you write. And if you lift your hands off the keyboard or you stop writing for a couple of seconds, this horrible, heinous noise and red fleshy light glares at you, and it makes you feel really uncomfortable, so you write. And it has helped me a couple of times to just get past that wall. I struggle with writer's block in the sense that I know what I want to happen in a scene, I just can't put it into words. And that is the part of me that is saying it needs to be perfect straight away, but it doesn't. First drafts are always horrible. There is no author that I know or that I have spoken to that has ever, that their first draft has been perfect. It doesn't happen. That's why editing exists. That is why editing is a thing. But I am a kind of a perfectionist in the fact that I want to be able to write it perfect the first time, but that doesn't happen. So what writeordi.com does is it means you don't have the choice to write it perfectly. You just have to get the words down. So yeah, Write or Die, if you're into rapid drafting, perfect for you, but it does make me uncomfortable, and I've only used it a couple of times. Number 2, writer sprints. This is what's helped me a lot. With NaNoWriMo that I do in November and July, or have done in November and July, I was wanting to do the April one as well, but I got sidetracked with it. There is the hashtag nano sprints, and that works great. You can find you work with the Nano group and you can do sprints there, but there's also the hashtags on Twitter like writer sprints, just genuinely, and if you put it out there that you're wanting to do a sprint at some point, somebody can contact you and be like, I'm up for a writer sprint, when are you free? And honestly, if you've got the encouragement of somebody else to do a writer sprint, it helps so much. Writer sprints, again, are kind of like rapid drafting. You don't really have the decision or the choice to make everything perfect, but you just get words down. And that's why they've really helped me. And also I've made a couple of great friends through writer sprints. So definitely recommend writer sprints. Just use Twitter or even Instagram or Tumblr and just search them out and see if you can find any new friends to become writer sprint buddies with. Number 3, and I can't really speak from my part on this, but this is go back to your plan. Go back to your outline and ask the question. If I can't write a scene and I'm really struggling with it and I can't get the characters to do what I want or they won't cooperate, I ask the question, what if? And I put them in a sticky situation that causes them to do something. And honestly, what if is my favourite question when it comes to writing, because you say and you put that into a situation or into a scene and your characters just go away with themselves and are brilliant and you get past it. So definitely go back to your outline. If that doesn't work, if you're still looking at it going, yeah, I've outlined, I've done everything I can, I don't know what to do, put the question what if into the scene. And for example, what would happen if she fell down the stairs? Might break her leg, but it does something. It causes something to happen in your story, and that means that you're writing. Number 4 is writer prompts, and you can find loads of writer prompts across the internet and through friends. You can ask them to give you a writer prompt, but I have bought this book, and I bought this years ago and I still use it, and this is 642 Things to Write About, and basically this is a huge book of little writer prompts, and the majority of them have nothing to do with my world, but even if I'm just writing this, it's getting me writing, so it's getting my head and it's getting my imagination flowing, and it really helps. You can get this one particularly in Waterstones, is where I got it. You can get them off Amazon. There's multiple different versions of this from this particular person as well, but there's also many other writing prompt books out there that are not this guy's one. So I will leave the link for this one to Amazon down below, but there's many others out there, but I definitely suggest them. They really helped me get through writer's block in the sense that it just gets my imagination flowing. It may not even be anything to do with what you're writing about. For example, write a letter from a coach to a parent of a player explaining why the player quit the team. That's got nothing to do with my world. It might have something to do with what you're writing, but it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm writing. But using that prompt has caused me to write something, and it means that I'm actually I'm writing, I'm doing something. So yeah, definitely suggest getting one of these. It's been so helpful for me. And number 5 is none other than read. Read, read, read. Reading was the inspiration for me to start writing. Reading is probably the inspiration for you. But if you're having struggle writing words, go and read. It gets your head flowing, it gets your imagination going. I have been asked a couple of times, why do you read if you've got writer's block? Because don't you just then copy the person's idea? That's not what happens. You plunge yourself into a different world. So if you're writer's blocked because you're distracted, if it's just you're plunging yourself into a different world, into a different life, and it takes you away, and it gives your brain the time to develop, your time to think about what you could write, and you don't. I've never gone from sitting on my laptop and writing, hitting the writer's wall, reading for an hour, reading for half an hour even, and then writing exactly what I've just read. That doesn't happen because you go from reading one story to reading a little bit of your own story to get you back into track to where you were, and you're like, oh, I'm plunged straight back into my own world now, so I'm going to write my characters, I'm going to write my world. And reading has always been my best and my most trusted way to get out of writer's block. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you next Friday. If you haven't already, please subscribe and maybe like this video. That would really help me. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.